in today's video, we are going to be talking about how to book your first ever senior session if you have zero connection to high school seniors or you've never done it before. So if that sounds interesting, keep watching. My name is Hope Taylor, and this YouTube channel is where I share education for senior portrait photographers. I have been a senior photographer for over a decade now, and I absolutely love educating other photographers on how to specialize in this niche and get better senior portraits at every single one of your shoots. So as I mentioned, today we are going to be talking about 3 ways that you can book your first ever senior session. If you are somebody that has never worked with seniors before, maybe senior portraits aren't even really a thing in your market, and you're looking for really practical, tactical, tangible steps that you can take to book your first senior or break into that market, I'm gonna give you 3 ways to do that in today's video. But before I dive too much into the content, I actually have a free gift for you. If you are a senior photographer that is looking to level up your senior sessions, maybe you are struggling with camera settings or lighting or posing or how to make the entire session flow and interact with your client, I found that lots of photographers are visual learners. I am too. So I'm giving you guys access to a free lesson from my Senior Scoop membership. This membership is where I have over 450 photographers that get access to brand new content every month, kind of like Netflix for senior photographers, but they get to be a virtual second shooter or a fly on the wall at real senior sessions with my real clients to see me navigate shoots in real time. So I'm giving you guys a free lesson. You can watch me photograph Brooke's iconic downtown Charleston senior session. Just follow the link in the description and you can tune in for free. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into 3 ways that you can book your very first senior session, even if you have never photographed a senior before. So number 1, the first thing that you can do to work with a senior in your area, and this one's gonna feel like common sense, but I promise it's not. I want you to get a little bit creative and rack your brain for any connections that you might have to somebody that is a senior, a rising senior, a college senior, or who looks like they could be a senior. Because one of the things that I learned in the early seasons of my business is that you don't necessarily have to photograph an actual senior in order to start building your portfolio and building buzz around the fact that you offer senior portraits in your business. I was a high school junior when I started my business, so a lot of my peers were younger than me. I was photographing freshmen, sophomore, and juniors, and then I was also photographing some friends that were older than me just to build a portfolio and get practice of having senior-looking models in front of my camera. So I actually feel like a lot of photographers kind of put themselves in a box when they're trying to think of someone to photograph because they specifically want somebody that is actively a senior in high school, or else they're not going to be of use to them. But I really think that you should challenge yourself to think about any coworkers' kids or coworkers' friends that have kids, or any friends that you even have from college that maybe look really young or could pass as a college grad. Anybody that you could get in front of your camera that could pass as someone who is a high school senior or a college grad is going to do incredible things for you practicing your lighting, your camera settings, your posing, and just overall building a portfolio and creating content to share, because you're going to book and encourage and attract more of what you show to your audience. So if you're showing images that even just look like senior portraits, you're going to start getting more and more attention and attraction to your business surrounding that niche of senior portraits. So another example is my little sister. I have been photographing her for years, and she was just a senior last year. But I've been photographing her and using her as a model for ages, because really all you need is those portfolio images to just get the ball rolling and start that momentum. The second way that you can work with a senior if you are looking for a very first senior client that you've never worked with before, or getting into the senior market if you have absolutely no connections, you racked your brain, you have no family friends, friends of friends, family, anybody that you can find, friends with kids that have somebody at senior age. Option 2 is that you can reach out to a senior on social media and offer them a modeling opportunity. Let me just go ahead and stop here, because I know that there are lots of thoughts about this and opinions about this, and Hope, I don't want to be creepy, and Hope, they're minors, and Hope, that's inappropriate. I agree with you. You should not be creepily reaching out to minors and asking them to get in front of your camera. But there is a way to do this professionally, in a not creepy way, and in a way that feels organic and genuine. And I did this for years and years and years. I still do it sometimes if I need a specific model for a specific shoot. So there are a few things that you need to do in order to make this not creepy. Number one, and most importantly, is that you need to be actively posting and sharing on social media if you're going to be reaching out to seniors on social media. Because if you haven't posted on Instagram in a year, or you have an Instagram account that doesn't have any posts, or you haven't posted a single photo of yourself, you've just posted photos of models, and you reach out to someone that is a minor or a senior in high school, and their first thing they're gonna do is click on your Instagram profile, right? And if they go to your profile and you look creepy because there's nothing there, or you haven't posted a photo of yourself, they can't find who you are, or you haven't posted in a year, so it's like, why is this person that's not posted anything messaging me? That feels spammy. That feels creepy, right? So that step number one here is to make sure that you're actually staying active and engaging on your social media accounts so that people aren't confused when they get a message from you, feeling like you're like a robot or somebody that's really creepy online. So best thing you can do if you're going to use this strategy is update your Instagram just a smidge. Add a photo of yourself, add some recent content so that it feels like you're a real person that's actively posting on social media. Two is to make sure there is at least one photo of yourself. I know I mentioned that, but if they click on your page and they only see photos of work that you've done, but they can't find who you are, that is also going to feel a little creepy. So make sure there's a photo of you somewhere. Another tip, give a specific reason that you are looking for a model. This serves dual purposes because you want to give them a reason that you are reaching out to them, right? Instead of just saying, hey, I need models to build my portfolio. To me, that can come across a little creepy, a little spammy, because you could be sending that message to hundreds of people for all they know, right? But if you give them a specific reason, like, hey, I have this specific dress and I'm looking for a model that fits this dress or that would be able to wear this dress, or I found a new location in this area that I'm wanting to try out and I need a model that is willing to be photographed here, or I have a new lens or piece of gear that I'm wanting to try. Giving a specific reason just makes it feel a little bit more legitimate and helps them to feel reassured that maybe you're not sending this message to hundreds and hundreds of people in a really spammy way. The other purpose that it serves is that it lets them know that this isn't something that you do frequently, right? Because if you're constantly reaching out to people getting modeling opportunities, you're not making money as a photographer, right? Because you're just shooting for free all the time. That's not what we want. We want them to feel special. We want them to feel like you hand selected them, and giving them a specific reason that you're messaging them will help to reinforce that. So you want to make sure your Instagram is relevant and active. You want to make sure there's photos of you. You want to give a specific reason that you're reaching out to them. And my last tip is to reach out to them in a really personal way. I like to avoid just typing a message that doesn't lead somewhere or have a call to action. So I try to always include a link to my website or a link to my portfolio so that they can see a little bit more of my work, see that I'm a legitimate photographer. But my actual favorite way to do this is to reach out in a voice message because it feels really, really personal, right? They can hear my voice, they can hear my tone, my inflection, they know I'm a real person, they know I'm not trying to be creepy. So sending a voice message and then following it up with a link where they can learn more is another awesome way to do this. So reach out on social media, follow them first, maybe engage with a few of their posts, then you can follow their friends and see what friends they engage with, and maybe you can even have a group of girls or guys come together for a shoot so that you have multiple models and they feel more comfortable too. Always make sure that you get parents' permission for this, so before you ever actually do the shoot, have a model release signed by both parent and senior if they are underage, but it is okay to initiate that conversation in a professional way, in an authentic way on social media, as long as you aren't engaging with them in a creepy way. The third and final way that you can find your first ever senior client or senior model is something that I used to do in my own junior and senior year in high school when I was just beginning my business, and that is to show up where the clients are and actually start infiltrating the market by being there. And what I mean by that is I would show up to sporting events like like football games and basketball games at our school with my camera. And I would just go as a student, anybody can buy tickets to football and basketball games, and I would take photos of the game and of the players, but I would also take a ton of photos of the student section. Typically, especially at high school football games, they have a designated student section in the audience where all of the high schoolers watch the game, and sometimes they'll have themed nights. Like we had a pink out for breast cancer awareness, and we had just tons of fun themes surrounding our high school mascot, which was a panther, and our colors were teal and black, so we'd have a teal night and a black night, and we would just have all of these cool themes that the student section would adhere to at the football games. So I would photograph the players, and I would send the players or the team or the coach a link to those photos afterwards so that the players had the photos. But more importantly, I would take photos of the student section. Really fun pictures of them throwing streamers or yelling into the horns or doing all of the fun things that they're doing to cheer on the game. I would also get photos of people with their friends and individual photos of people in their cute jerseys or t-shirts or outfits for the game. And I would create a big digital gallery of these images. Of course, this isn't necessarily a way to make a ton of money, but what it did is it gave students the opportunity to have images of mine to start posting and crediting me on social media. I would include a little pop-up or a banner at the top of that gallery that said, please credit Hope Taylor Photography when sharing on social media. Doesn't mean everybody's gonna do it, not necessarily, but it still opens the door to dozens or maybe even hundreds of people having access to my work, having access to images to share, to get the ball of word of mouth marketing rolling by tagging me on social media and actually sharing within the market that I want to be in. So if you have no personal connections to anybody that's a senior or looks like a senior, if you don't feel comfortable reaching out on social media, or you just don't feel like you've had success with that in the past, then this is an awesome way to actually get your feet on the ground in the market that you want to be working with, capture those clients, capture those games, love on that audience really, really well, but also be strategic about generating some word of mouth marketing in your area. So those are the 3 ways that I recommend starting this year and into 2024 with getting your feet wet in the senior market. I think that all 3 of these strategies work well. You'll have to let me know what you're gonna try in the comments down below. And as I mentioned before, there is a free gift for you in the description if you want to watch me photograph an entire senior session from start to finish, including my camera settings and my real-time thoughts on every decision I make, from lighting to outfits to posing to locations to lenses and gear. You can watch Brooke's senior session for free at the description below, just as my free gift to use to say thanks for tuning in. I share new videos every other week specifically for senior portrait photographers. I'd be so grateful to have you subscribe. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.